I'm here with a legend in the world of chess, Zhu Chen. Hello, Zhu.
Hi.
Thank you so much for doing this interview. I know you had a very long day. You had a FIDE Council meeting. But here you are at the candidates. How are you feeling?
Well, I really love this place, and I think this is, part of heaven. That I like beautiful places, and when I traveling around during the chess event, I really appreciate what the chess brought me to life. Yeah.
Amazing. And you have done so many things in the world of chess. So I wanted to, go a little bit back in time.
Yeah.
You were born in 1976, is that correct?
Yes, yes.
And where were you born?
So, actually, I'm come from Wenzhou city, which is the same city as Ding Liren. Yeah. So, and then we had same beginner coach, Xie Jun. So, and when last time I played the Chennai Olympiad, I thought it was very interesting. There is a part of my city. I found that this is similar patterns or structure like Chennai. And of course, Wish is from Chennai, so I thought, oh, interesting. Maybe this type of city bring the chess brains.
So Wenzhou is well known for you and Ding. Were there any other players from there as well?
Actually, we have the first men's grandmaster, Ye Rongguang. He was also my coach. First grandmaster, man grandmaster from China.
Wow.
Yeah, so that, and we have like the champions of Chinese chess and from our region. So we have, kind of DNA for chess sense, yeah.
Wow. And you very quickly became a very good player, right? Like, was there any particular reason that chess came into your life? Was it like your parents liked chess?
Yeah.
Because in China, Chinese chess is also quite popular, right?
Yeah. So my father, he's like 100% Chinese chess, Go, chess, fun. Okay, so he loves to play chess, and then when I was probably 5, and I was watching how he was playing Chinese chess with our neighbors, and it was enough for me to understood how figure out how the Chinese chess rules, So I was watching, and then later on, I had this opportunity. I saw chess. Chinese chess is flat and with a Chinese letter, but the chess is such beautiful pieces. So I was immediately attracted by the beauty of chess.
And then you kind of learnt it over there, and you became like world junior champion, right? At the age of just 12 years old.
12, yeah.
That's incredible.
Right. So I don't know. Maybe I was a bit gifted. Yeah, that was my first international tournament, and I won.
Where did it happen?
So that was in Romania. Yeah.
So you traveled to Romania to play a tournament.
Yes.
It must not have been very common, right, back then?
Back then there was a very little funding support for chess event, and then it was very difficult to have sponsors. Yes, and then the second tournament I played abroad, that was already like in 1994. Because the economic in China at that time was, not as good as now.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did you get better at chess? Because were there trainers who helped you, or was it like you went outside China and also trained there?
So then, I don't know, among the players that I actually, I grew up together with. In our province, there is me and Xie Jun. We are, from more or less the same area, and also the same age, And but we were, quite outstanding from the very beginning. And then, I have the coach, Ye Rongguang. He was he won many times Chinese champion, but Ye Jiangchuan probably he was the strongest at that time. But Ye Rongguang also good player, and then since we came from the same hometown, then he helped me a lot during my early ages. Yeah, so I was a bit lucky with the coach, and then later on I worked with Xie Jun. And during the years I stayed in the Chinese national team. And probably you heard that in China that back to the time that we had a program that men player used to help the female players. So we were we were staying in the national team, and we played a lot of competitions inside China because we did not have the funding to go abroad. Yeah, but that was enough for us to grow strong.
Was it like everyone used to stay together, or would it like some kind of a center was created?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. But that's actually that's very fun because it's not anymore the tradition now. Like we do kind of camp in China, but back home is much more interesting.
And so, from your journey of being a talented young player to becoming a grandmaster, was that like a very smooth journey for you?
No, I was like, I was never like a very hard worker, but I work hard later on. So then I was up down, every the single year was not so good the result, and then the other year was always good. Well, you're learning by, pass through the life path.
You were just living, and you were just things were happening through the path.
Yeah. Okay. When anyway, like I do love chess, the game, and so when you are not playing well, then of course then as chess player, like we analyze, why I was not playing good. Probably like I should reduce some other activities, and I should be more concentrated in the game. So then, but this was me. Then so I never really stopped to learn, but then there was up down, and at the beginning, so that it was really challenging. Yeah, because when you wanted so much, to achieve some result, and then I was not able to get the result from the very beginning. So, but then since 1994, then I qualified for the Olympiad, and also I won the junior world champion, and then also one more time in 1996. So then my result was kind of stabilized. Yeah.
Was it the year 97 when Xie Jun became the world champion?
I think 1990.
1990?
Yeah, that of course inspired me that, you see that we were working together, although she was we were not in the same generation. But I see that the people around me, that they will be able to achieve, then that encouraged me a lot to get my results.
When did you become a GM? Like which year?
I think before I won the women's world champion title. Yeah.
So you became a GM, and then immediately you became the women's world champion.
Yes.
And this was roughly in 2002.
I think 2000.
2000.
But I always mix with my, graduation from university, and the year I won world champion title, I think 2001. Yeah.
You finished graduation. What did you study?
I started with literature because I love literature, and cultural literature, and then later on I switched to economic and management.
And then,
And I finished in Tsinghua University, which was one of the best university in China.
Got it. And when you became the world champion, how was that feeling? You beat Kostenyuk in the finals, right?
Yes, At that time she was quite young, but during the world champion knockout, I beat many strong players like Maya Chibodani and also Marichi at that time she was also strong. I was happy because I have been dreaming for this result since I was really very little.
And at that time, who were your seconds and trainers?
And then Xie Jun was, after Ye Rongguan, then Xie Jun was always my trainer. The end of in the final, Ye Jiangtang also helped.
Wow.
Yeah, together.
And when was the time that you met Mohammed?
Well, actually, I met Mohammed in 1994 during the Asian Asian Junior Championship in Malaysia.
Oh.
And then
So was it was it at that time that you started to like him, or did it happen later?
By first sign that I think we were in love from the first sign.
And you guys got married in which year?
Well, we got married in 2000. Yeah.
So this period of 2000 was very intense for you, right?
Yeah,
because you became a GM, you became the world champion, you also got married.
Yes, because in one moment then, because I was struggling a little bit the years before, then I then somehow that emotionally I have to close things, so that it was one of the another that.
But how long were you together, like Mohammed and you?
We met each other in 1994, and from 1994 until now, then that's
32 years.
32 years, yeah. So then we married in 2000, so that's also quite a long time.
And who asked the other one out?
Well, it was, both parents were really against this relationship, and I also did not believe that this will work out. And it turned out it's not so easy because for the different culture. But and the base that it was kind of a pure love that I have to appreciate that because it's not like really something could happen like anytime, So I think with this very good foundation that we're able to work until now, then also our girls.
And did you play in tournaments anytime against each other?
Yeah, from our first met that the instance was I lost to him, So then I paid attention. Oh, how possible? This gentleman that he's from desert. Sorry to say that, but I thought that my chess. Okay, I was although I was also young at that time, but I was beating some, international master and grandmaster. So I expected that I would do some good result, but then somehow he beat me, and then so I remembered him well.
Yeah, when you lose, when chess player loses, they always remember.
What was it about Mohammed that actually you liked a lot?
Well, he was very funny, and I laughed a lot, and I feel relaxed with him, and he was, always care, and well, when I'm not going to share all our secrets to the public.
But did you guys ever work on chess together, like, or that was never?
I think that more we worked like as a team, that we were working together with Akopian and with Victor Borgan, and also, okay, with Marudoichi was more like myself. That so we were more working as a team, but with a coach, not. It was not like he was training with me.
Like in 2001 World Championship, that time.
No, because I have my coach. I have my Chinese coach, Xie Jun. He also worked with many outstanding Chinese female players here.
And here we saw like both of your daughters are here. I think it was at that period you also became a mother, right? This was in 2003?
2004. Yeah.
So,
4 years
World
later.
Championship was
Yeah.
going to happen.
2001. Yeah.
So you became a world champion. Then within 2-3 years you became a mother.
Then, because 2003 there was SARS, it's similar like the coronavirus, but in Beijing. And then I was playing the tournament in Greece, and then together with Mohammed. And then, okay, he says, oh, no, you're not going back to Beijing, it's quite dangerous. So then we went to Qatar. Then, but we were already married, and from that time, then we had our daughter. Yeah, so.
Was it from that period that you stopped playing chess much, or did you continue playing after that?
Yeah, actually, with the first child, still, like with my older daughter, I was still able to go back chess, and actually I reached the peak of my rating point. And then, but with the second child, that was a disaster. Then my chess result was just dropping. Yeah.
What happened at that point? Like, why do you think? Because it was like too much to take care of, or?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe, and then also, it can be different. Different reasons, and. So that was 2008. Yeah, that was 2008. But Chinese, we have a say, like once you born a baby, then you become, silly for 3 years. But okay, I was I really appreciated my kids. They are very nice daughters, and they brought me a lot of happiness. So in life, I think it's I learned a lot from chess. I think the most value chess brought me is, the ability of thinking that we will be able to figure out for life. For whenever you face any challenge, then you can cool down yourself to analyze the situation, to try to find the best way to get out of some challenge, and then sometimes it will help you to achieve some results. And I actually believe because chess player have the brain. It's not because we're very well trained by the game, because we always calculate, and we have much more possibility than just to win or lose. And beside the game itself, also like at the beginning, life is like before certain age, let's say maybe 30, that you're trying to learn and to win, to earn. But in certain of lifetime, then okay, especially like when you have a child, then you realize that life is also about giving, you know. So then you learn, you know, okay, to draw, to lose, because it's not every time, you know, loss is loss. You know, sometimes you make friends, sometimes you figure out some important things. So chess is such a beautiful game, and I think there can be, you know, in this world now, there's so many complications, you know, so many things. I think there probably somewhere the system is wrong, but there is a lot of layers. So with this such a complication, maybe the other people will not, other brains might not be able to figure out what are the true matters. But if there's more chess players start to think, you know, we actually can help the world even better for the future.
And it's so beautifully said. I think you are like a true ambassador for chess, because you've played chess almost all your life, like many years.
Yeah.
And now you think that chess can be just taught, not like you need to excel as a player, right? Just learning chess is a great thing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And have your daughters learned chess, or did they like chess?
They, you know, they of course they know how to play chess since they were 2-3 years old, but does not mean that all our kids have to follow the game we do, because normally for kids that one of the first goals that they have to surpass their parents. So. But I mean, okay, kids are smart enough. Like if they play chess, it will take a long time to surpass us. So
it's such a nice point, actually. Now I think of it, because I beat my father, and I started getting interested in chess.
Yeah, exactly.
But if my father was already a grandmaster, it would have been very tough.
Yeah. So that's the normal psychology of how the growth. So yeah, I was able to learn many things through chess and also through parenting. So that's about life, that you always keep learning.
And all the Chinese women are very strong. Like, what is your take? Like, how and why is this so powerful?
Well, I don't know. Like maybe we were. You know, the life was not so easy, and some years in the past, because now it's different. You know, when you're getting easier life, it's a little bit different. But still, no matter China or India, that there is a big population, so there's a lot of competition. So that's one of the thing that pushing you to face the challenge and to get outstanding. I'm not so sure that what is the best way of life, because for the ancient Westerns, they're always telling us that you should do in balance, be balanced, and go in the middle. And I deeply believe that, because in life is sometimes balance is important, because when you are in some way, that if you're too strong, too pushing too much, then the stress will be in the other side. It's not really only for you, also for you yourself and for the whole society. So in life, there's this reach of wisdoms, but actually our ancestors told us all the wisdoms that mostly we just learn by life, relearn it again. But the one thing I feel it's very interesting, because actually what is a human ability, that anything you learn, you're getting better. But if the things that you are not practicing, then you're reducing the ability. So, okay, it's AI, age now. And for me, humans like smart AI that because we know so little about ourselves, and we are biology AI. There are many functions that we don't even understand and knowing it. So I hope that the humankind that will find a greater challenge that, for example, multiply, space traveling, because human, beside, we have also our human behaviors that when two countries with some conflicts, then they fight, when the society also they can fight, the two leadership they can fight, and even like sister and brothers they can fight. So that's also one of our pattern. But when you will be united, when there is threat from outside, then you are very united, right? So I don't know, maybe I encourage the chess brains to try to figure out to help humankind to find a way getting a better tomorrow.
So you think like a new challenge can be a good idea, so that
To find, because I don't understand. I think like everyone in this world deserve to have food, dress, a house to stay, and with the current technology, it should not be
big
problem, right? And okay, I understand. Like human, also, everyone love to be rich, but for this point, I don't, because we grow up by different of propagandas. We watched by different of communities. All like brainwash, and or let's say like by different background of their, of their culture or knowledge, but how to think it, like what is really true, what is not. So just think that you're reborn, and as a baby, like what you really need, and then maybe you clear some folks.
Wow.
What are the true, what are not, and then okay, what really can build this the humanity be better. Well, I wish like there's some. I just wish like chess players will be not only chess players, but be some kind of gathering of yeah.
These are very deep thoughts that you have actually. Is it like, have you read a lot of philosophy, or is it spirituality? Because what you are saying is actually something very deep.
Yeah, okay, because I'm chess player, I always observe the world, and I always keep thinking and keep learning. Yeah.
But this practice, so in a way you live life quite practically, with a practical approach.
Yeah, because yes, I for chess players have different abilities, but okay, to solve a problem, not stuck in one problem. That's one of our ability. Because okay, there is things happening. Okay, but you can't change the past. You can't change what happened yesterday. But what you can focus is in the current situation, what can be the best move to solve this issue.
To be in the present.
Yeah, to be in the present.
Beautiful.
Your chess style was also practical, like.
Well, actually, I realized this point during some FIDE Congress meetings, like when we were discussing some issues. Then I realized that I always, my focus is always, on how to solve the question.
So if there's any time a problem, you won't delve into the why it happened. You want to solve it.
I mean, like as human, like we many times we're arguing who's right, who's Okay, sometimes you get emotion, but that's not the point that you can solve the issues. It does not really matter. Like, okay, it matters, like who is right or who is wrong, but what is more important, that or what is today's important and tomorrow's important. Okay, yesterday's a lesson, so to go to the right direction.
Beautiful. And how did FIDE come into your life? You are now the treasurer of FIDE.
Yeah.
It's a very responsible role. Did it begin with this, or did you start with some other role? When did that happen?
Well, as I mentioned, I was studying the economic and management, and also during our, we also, me and my husband, we did some, business and with some construction companies. So I was like, by doing things, learning things, and go through for, like cash flows, how to. Not not everything go very deep, but I have some, basic understanding of finance in some ways. So, and I always believe that we're chess players, that we're always able to learn things faster when it's needed.
And so you learned how to sort of understand money, understand how a business works, and I think that really proved useful in this role as a treasurer.
Yeah, I think as a treasurer that, for our finance department of FIDE, that our roles is to, to keep the FIDE's finance solid, but we are just one part of the FIDE body. Then it's teamwork.
True.
Right. Yeah.
I saw the council today.
I do things from my heart and with good intention. I think that's good enough, and I will always keep to do that. And for me, that's almost 100%, because you need to have good intention, and then you do from your heart. Yeah. Other things, because there's not everything I can control.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in the present world, it's not so easy to work with a good heart and good intentions, right? Because everyone...
it's not easy, but this is like kind of personality, I think. Because I have to be grateful to my parents. I was raised, I'm raised by, my parents were always asking me to be good person, nice person, there was even time that I complained to them. I said, "Oh, you brought me up like I'm too kind," and then I suffered a lot. Okay, I don't know.
But
so everything there is two. Yeah, there's two sides. Oh, well, I'm not a perfect person, I'm 100% sure, but I'm just me. And I like something I do, and I believe in my value, and for my work, I try my best.
Amazing. And Muhammad is also someone who's working very hard for chess. He's doing so many things in Qatar, like this Qatar Open, World Rapid and Blitz recently. So, and you are working in FIDE. So you guys, does your life revolve around chess totally?
Yeah, actually, chess is a bridge for us. That how we met each other, and yes, I was very proud of him that the World Rapid and Blitz Championship, how he organized it. It's one of the best tournaments in the world be organized, and I have to say that it's a piece of art what he did. Yeah.
In fact, we came to Qatar in 2015 to play Qatar Open, and it was such amazing memories we had there. It was so beautiful, that event. So it's actually happening from almost a decade.
And then World Rapid also, the most beautiful studio we thanks to
But the Qataris, they have taste. You know, Qataris have taste. Yeah. Also, the World Cup, football World Cup, I think it was one of the best events. So this nation that have really, you know, very good organization for event and beautiful taste.
Amazing.
I think this was also one of the reason I was be attracted by Muhammad. Yes, he was so different when the first time I met him. Yeah,
Aesthetics.
Yeah, there. Yeah.
The sense of taste.
Yeah,
That's
sense
right.
of taste.
Nice.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And when you were talking about the balance in life, the decision in 2004 when the World Championship was supposed to be in Georgia, that time to not defend it, was it like a difficult decision? How
In 2004, I was. I think because I was delivering my first child. Yeah. So.
At this point now in your life, where you have achieved so much, you are in FIDE, you are taking care of the funds, being a treasurer. How do you see your next few years? What is it that you are looking forward to?
Well, that's what I'm sharing now. Like by my thought, I hope that chess players, the chess brains, will be not only for chess, but to build their whole humanity a better future. But, okay, in this moment, this is what I realize. Okay, what I'm going to do tomorrow, I don't know. So for the moment, I'm still busy with my works. Yeah. And,
So this vision that you have, that chess players should build something for tomorrow, how can anyone
realize it? Okay, during the COVID, there was not so many informations were shared by, most of government at the very beginning stage, and then I realized that by my own analyzing, then I was able to get the real data, like what are the risk death rate for this virus. And then I was a little bit surprised. Then later on, I have this habit, there anything that if there are many things, if the technology is new, and I will be very interested to know it. And then there's some, or in my life, whenever I face some, issues, then I try to solve it. And maybe I can stuck with one issue for so many years, but I will keep learning. And I don't say this is like something like really, very good, but I just say this is like kind of my behavior. So I like to learn and try to solve this issue. Okay, maybe the best thing is not like I'm always thinking about chess moves, but yeah, by this habit that I was able to learn many things.
It's incredible, all the things that you've done and such humility that you have. It was a pleasure talking to you, understanding your life story. Yeah. Thank you so much for giving us your time.
Yeah. Thank you for this opportunity. Yeah. And all the best, and we love your channels.
Thank you.
Thank you.